Being welcomed isn't just about friendly smiles at the grocery store. For American families moving abroad, feeling genuinely welcome means your children are accepted in schools and playgroups. Your neighbors invite you to community events. Local people are patient when you're learning the language. Bureaucrats actually help you navigate visa paperwork, and you're treated as valued additions to the community, rather than temporary tourists or unwanted foreigners. Unfortunately, not every country rolls out the welcome mat for American expat families, and some places where Americans imagine they'll be embraced actually harbor resentment toward U.S. citizens or simply have insular cultures resistant to outsiders. The difference between feeling welcome and feeling tolerated fundamentally shapes your family's experience abroad. When you're genuinely welcomed, your children make local friends easily. You build meaningful relationships beyond the expat bubble. Integration happens naturally, and your family thrives. When you're merely tolerated, you remain perpetually on the outside. Your kids struggle socially, and the experience feels isolating no matter how beautiful the country or how low the cost of living. We've surveyed hundreds of American expat families, analyzed visa accessibility, reviewed cultural attitudes toward Americans, examined integration support systems, and evaluated how welcoming countries are specifically to families with children. Today, we're counting down the top 5 countries where American families are most genuinely welcomed in 2025. Number 5. Costa Rica. Costa Rica has earned its Pura Vida reputation honestly, and American families discover that the relaxed, welcoming culture extends far beyond tourism marketing. Costa Ricans, or Ticos as they call themselves, are genuinely friendly toward American families, and there's a large established expat community that helps newcomers integrate. The country has been attracting American retirees and families for decades, creating infrastructure and cultural acceptance for foreign residents. American families in Costa Rica report that locals are patient with language learning, helpful with practical matters, and welcoming in social situations. Children are especially welcomed in Costa Rican culture, which is very family-oriented. Your kids will be included in neighborhood activities, invited to birthday parties, and embraced by local families once you make initial connections. The visa process is relatively straightforward with pensionado and rentista options requiring proof of income. English is increasingly common in expat areas, though learning Spanish dramatically improves the experience and shows respect that Ticos appreciate. Monthly costs for an American family of 4 run about $2,500 to $3,500. Costa Rica ranks 5th because while genuinely welcoming, the welcome is partly commercial given the large existing expat population, and some areas have become saturated with American retirees, creating parallel expat communities rather than true integration. Number 4. Ireland. Ireland welcomes American families with genuine warmth, amplified by shared language and strong historical connections between our countries. The Irish are famously friendly, and American families discover this reputation is well-deserved. Irish people are conversational, helpful, inclusive, and particularly welcoming to families with children. Irish culture places huge emphasis on community, and American families who make the effort to participate find themselves genuinely included. American families in Ireland report that children are welcomed immediately in schools and neighborhoods. Irish people invite American families to local events, help navigate bureaucracy, and include newcomers in social circles. The shared English language removes a major barrier, though learning some Irish phrases shows respect. Irish culture values storytelling, humor, and human connection, making it easy for American families to build genuine friendships. The visa situation for Americans has become more structured with Ireland's critical skills employment permit and other work-based visas, or the increasingly popular remote work opportunities. Monthly costs for an American family of 4 run about $3,800 to $4,800, including housing, food, health care, and other expenses. Ireland ranks 4th because while genuinely welcoming with shared language and culture, the high cost of living and housing shortages, particularly in Dublin, create practical challenges. The welcome is genuine, but the logistics are difficult. Number 3. New Zealand, or Aotearoa in Maori, welcomes American families with a culture built on egalitarianism, friendliness, and genuine appreciation for people who choose their country. Kiwis are famously laid back and welcoming, and American families discover this extends to real integration rather than surface-level politeness. New Zealand actively seeks skilled immigrants and families, viewing newcomers as contributors rather than burdens. American families in New Zealand report that locals are helpful, inclusive, and genuinely interested in welcoming new residents. Children integrate easily into schools where American kids are seen as interesting additions, bringing diverse perspectives. Kiwi culture values community participation, and American families who join local sports clubs, volunteer, or participate in neighborhood activities find themselves genuinely included. The shared English language eliminates communication barriers, and cultural values around outdoor activities, family time, and work-life balance align well with what many American families seek. New Zealanders appreciate Americans who show genuine interest in Kiwi culture, respect Maori heritage, and don't constantly compare everything to the United States. Visa options include skilled migrant visas, work visas, and entrepreneur visas, though competition is significant. Monthly costs for an American family of 4 run about $4,000 to $5,000. New Zealand ranks third because the welcome is genuine and integration is supported, though the remote location and visa competitiveness create barriers. Number 2. Portugal. Portugal has become the most popular European destination for American expat families in recent years, and a major reason is how genuinely welcomed American families feel. Portuguese people are warm, patient, helpful, and increasingly experienced at welcoming foreign residents. Unlike some European countries where foreigners face resentment or hostility, Portugal has embraced its role as a destination for international families and actively makes Americans feel valued. American families throughout Portugal report that Portuguese neighbors are friendly and helpful, often going out of their way to assist with language barriers, bureaucratic challenges, or practical matters like finding doctors or schools. Portuguese culture is family-oriented, and children are universally welcomed and included. Your kids will be invited to play with neighbor children, included in local activities, and embraced in schools, whether public or international. Portuguese people appreciate Americans who make an effort to learn Portuguese, show interest in Portuguese culture and history, and participate in community life. The growing American expat community provides support networks, but integration with Portuguese locals is absolutely possible and encouraged. Portugal has created specific visa pathways for American families, including the D7 passive income visa, requiring proof of only about $2,500 monthly income. Monthly costs for an American family of 4 run about $2,600 to $3,500. English is increasingly spoken in cities and expat areas, making initial transition easier while you learn Portuguese. Portugal ranks second because it offers the best combination of genuine welcome, cultural warmth, accessible visas, affordable living, and European quality of life for American families. Number 1. Mexico. Mexico takes the number 1 spot for where American families are most welcome, and it's not even close. With over 1.6 million Americans already living in Mexico, the country has decades of experience welcoming American families and has built infrastructure, support systems, and cultural acceptance that make integration remarkably smooth. Mexican culture is inherently warm and family-oriented, and American families discover they're not just tolerated, but genuinely embraced. American families throughout Mexico report that Mexican neighbors are incredibly friendly, helpful, and welcoming. Children are especially embraced in Mexican culture, which places enormous value on family. Your kids will be invited to birthday parties, included in neighborhood games, welcomed warmly by school families, and treated with genuine affection by Mexican people. Mexican culture loves children, and your family will feel this daily. Mexican people are patient with language learning, helpful with practical challenges, and genuinely interested in building relationships with American families. The cultural warmth isn't surface-level politeness. It's genuine hospitality deeply embedded in Mexican values. Communities throughout Mexico have established American expat groups, bilingual schools, English-speaking services, and integration support specifically because so many American families have chosen Mexico. The visa process for American families is straightforward and welcoming. Temporary residency requires proof of just $2,500 monthly income or $40,000 in savings. Permanent residency is attainable after 4 years. The proximity to the United States means extended family can visit easily, you can return frequently, and the transition feels less dramatic than moving across oceans. Monthly costs for an American family of 4 run about $2,200 to $2,800 depending on location. Mexican people genuinely appreciate Americans who learn Spanish, respect Mexican culture, and integrate into community life rather than staying isolated in expat enclaves. The established American communities throughout Mexico mean you'll find instant support networks, but the real welcome comes from Mexican families and neighbors who include you in their lives. Mexico ranks first because it offers American families the most genuine, comprehensive, and practical welcome. The combination of cultural warmth, established infrastructure for American families, accessible visas, affordable living, proximity to the United States, and decades of positive experience, welcoming Americans creates an environment where your family will feel truly at home. For American families who respect Mexican culture, make efforts to learn Spanish, and approach the experience with openness, Mexico offers a level of welcome that's genuinely hard to find anywhere else in the world. These 5 countries prove that American families can find places abroad where they're not just accepted, but genuinely welcomed and embraced. The question is which welcoming culture aligns with your family's values and where you want to build your new life.